the financial system is essentially moving everything onto a digital platform. The platform that you need, the blockchain, a public chain, needs to be one that has smart contracts. So it's not going to be built on Bitcoin. Wall Street is choosing to do this on Ethereum. Perspective, the stock was $4.50 when we announced the treasury strategy.
Yeah.
And today the stock's $43. So it's gone up by 10 times. Ethereum has risen by 50% in that period of time. So Ethereum is facing a moment that what we call a supercycle.
In today's video, Tom Lee lays out his bold thesis on Ethereum's future and why he believes it's entering one of the biggest macro supercycles of the next decade. From recommending Bitcoin under $1,000 to now building the world's largest Ethereum treasury at Bitmine, Lee explains how this strategy could mirror and even surpass MicroStrategy's Bitcoin play. He breaks down staking yields, Wall Street's move on to Ethereum, and why Bitmine stock may give investors more upside than holding ETH directly. And don't forget to join our Telegram group for exclusive Bitcoin insights and daily updates. The link's right below.
Well, I've been involved with crypto since 2017. And that's when we first wrote about recommending clients buy at least a 1 to 2% position in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin was under $1,000 back then. Wow. And it's now over 110,000 today.
Yeah.
So it's been a 100x return. And this year, I became quite constructive on Ethereum because in our view, I think Ethereum is one of the most important macro super cycles for the next 10 to 15 years. And an opportunity came along where I worked with another group called Mosaics. They're good business partners of mine. I've done business with them for about 15 years. And we had an opportunity to create an Ethereum treasury on an existing company. So this idea really made a lot of sense to us because I think Ethereum is one of the most important sort of super cycle stories for the next 10 to 15 years. And here was a chance to create a company or transform a company in the same way that MicroStrategy did with Bitcoin.
Yeah. I think the new role sure showed the weight of the name Tom Lee because I saw with my two eyes Bitmine soaring more than 100% after you got appointed. Your decision to join Bitmine, was it driven by the long-term vision of crypto or was it because of the business opportunity that you saw in the treasury management?
It's both. Ethereum's very unique because it is a smart contract platform and it's censorship resistant and super resilient. It's 100% uptime since creation. It's never been down. And to build a treasury business on Ethereum means that a company, when they acquire a sufficient stake, let's say 5% of the supply, actually has what I call the power law come into effect. And that means that not only do you have a positive influence on yourself as a company because you own so much, just like MicroStrategy, but you have a positive impact on the Ethereum ecosystem itself because one, you're providing a lot of security by staking, but also you are essentially what you call like a kingmaker, that when you own so much Ethereum that you have a chance to help the DeFi ecosystem flourish. And that means if Wall Street's going to build on Ethereum, a company like Bitmine will actually play a role in helping sort of evolve and identify the right DeFi protocols to flourish.
But now there are so many crypto treasury firms out there. What was it about Bitmine that stood out to you?
We weren't the first because the first one was SharpLink.
Yeah.
And they were about a month earlier than Bitmine. But Bitmine itself was what I'd call a company that was a suitable candidate to transform because they had an existing Bitcoin mining business.
Yeah,
and they had a very clean balance sheet, only a very nominal amount of debt, about $1 million. But the transformation was really led by myself and Mosaic. So we brought in Founders Fund, Stan Druckenmiller, Galaxy Digital, DCG, Kraken, Falcon X.
Wow.
Also that joined us in this effort is Kathy Wood's ARK Funds and Bill Miller. And so we've been able to raise a lot of capital into Bitmine.
Oh.
And that's how Bitmine's become now clearly the largest Ethereum treasury. about 9 billion of Ethereum held. So it's dramatically almost 3 times larger than the second largest now.
Yeah.
And in terms of global crypto treasuries, only MicroStrategy is bigger, with about $72 billion worth of crypto. So Bitmine is the second largest crypto treasury company in the world.
As you mentioned about MicroStrategy, we see players like MicroStrategy going all in Bitcoin treasury, but Bitmine is charting a different course with Ethereum. What is the potential you see in this ecosystem that makes it better asset than Bitcoin?
Well, foremost, I still like Bitcoin, and we still recommend it to clients because Bitcoin is, I think, a ideal store of value. So it's digital gold. Yeah. But in 2025, there is a much bigger transformation underway because the White House has really pushed 2 different agendas. The first is the Genius Act, and that's to essentially greenlight stablecoins. And stablecoins are going to grow dramatically. Today, there's about $280 billion of stablecoins outstanding. Treasury Secretary Bessent thinks it's going to get to close to $4 trillion.
Yeah, he is.
So that's exponential growth. And then there's the SEC's Project Crypto, which is encouraging not only for Wall Street to look at digital assets, but to rebuild Wall Street onto the blockchain.
Oh.
Okay. So this is a dramatic moment where the financial system is essentially moving everything onto a digital platform. The platform that you need, the blockchain, a public chain, needs to be one that has smart contracts. So it's not going to be built on Bitcoin. Wall Street is choosing to do this on Ethereum. So Ethereum is facing a moment that what we call a supercycle, similar to what happened in 1971 when the US dollar went off the gold standard. And that moment is when Wall Street innovated financial products because the dollar became synthetic in 1971. But in 2025, it's now Wall Street essentially digitizing or tokenizing the real world. So Ethereum is unique because, number one, it's the blockchain of choice where Wall Street is building stablecoins and tokenized assets. But Ethereum is a proof of stake blockchain. So Ethereum treasury companies actually earn a staking yield. So, for instance, the Bitmine, roughly $9 billion of Ethereum held, if it was staked, would generate about $300 million in pre-tax net income.
Wow.
So the company is one of the most profitable companies in America today.
Wow. Ethereum got picked up by Wall Street and it's earning staking yields. So these are the 2 pros why you chose Ethereum instead of Bitcoin.
Yes.
So let's get right to the question from investors. So why would investors need to buy a Bitmine stock instead of just buying Ethereum directly if it's so good?
Yes, that's a great question because someone's going to say, well, if Ethereum can go up a lot, why don't I just buy Ethereum? And one of the differences is that a digital treasury like Bitmine is actually growing how much Ethereum you have per share. So I'll give you an example. On July 8th, when we closed on that initial transaction for taking over Bitmine or transforming it to a Bitmine treasury, an Ethereum treasury, there was $4 of Ethereum per share held at Bitmine. So imagine someone could say, I could buy $4 worth of Ethereum or buy 1 Bitmine share. As of August 24th, Bitmine held $40 of Ethereum per share. So it rose by 10 times. But if someone bought the Ethereum itself, or they bought the Ethereum ETF, they'd still only have $4 of Ethereum per share. So you can see that a treasury company is growing your Ethereum holdings per share. That's why MicroStrategy stock did better than Bitcoin. In August 2020, MicroStrategy stock was $13. Today it's $335. It's gone up by more than 25 times. The price of Bitcoin has gone from 10,000 to 110,000. So it's gone up by 11 times, but MicroStrategy stock's gone up by 25 times. And that's because MicroStrategy as a treasury company, has grown your Bitcoin per share. And Bitmine is growing your Ethereum held per share every week. It's growing by roughly 50 cents per day.
Okay. That's the reason why we should buy Bitmine instead of Ethereum if we want more profits.
That's right. And to give you a perspective, the stock was $4.50 when we announced the treasury strategy.
Yeah.
And today the stock's $43. So it's gone up by 10 times. Ethereum has risen by 50% in that period of time. So Bitmine has outperformed Ethereum.
Would there be more losses if Ethereum goes down?
No, actually less.
Oh.
Because you're growing your Ethereum held per share. So if you took the original example,
Yeah.
okay, so let's say on July 8th, you had $4 of Ethereum or $4 worth of Bitmine stock. And then let's say Ethereum went down 50%. The original person only has $2 of Ethereum because they bought it for $4 and it went down 50%. But today, someone has $40 worth of Ethereum, and if it goes down by 50%, it's $20 per share. So you actually made money even though Ethereum fell 50%.
Wow.
So it's a crypto treasury that's properly managed and executed will vastly outperform an ETF or the Ethereum itself. That's why MicroStrategy as a company is larger than any Bitcoin ETF. Because institutions realize it's better to buy MicroStrategy than to buy a Bitcoin ETF.
That's Tom Lee's vision Ethereum as the backbone of the next financial supercycle. Whether you're holding ETH, watching Bitmine, or just following the space, the message is clear. Crypto treasuries are changing the game. If you found this helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more market insights, and join our Telegram group, links in the description. See you in the next one.